So this week is by far one of the most interesting weeks for the month of May because on Wednesday, guys, we got CPI and I want to talk about it, right? I really do want to talk about it because every single month this thing is always the cream of the crop when it comes to volatility, and I absolutely love it. Now, you guys have noticed that in the past 5 days or so, markets have just been going up at a decent amount, right? This is the S&P 500, 1.39% in the past 5 days. Now, if we take a look at this on the 1 month though, we can see that the last time we had CPI, which was at around April 10th, well, the markets completely took a tumble, going from a peak of around, 5,205, all the way down to a bottom around 4,963 points. Now, the reason why this is important is because, well, the fact of the matter is that inflation came in hotter than expected for the month of March. Now, this CPI that we're actually getting for May is actually for April. And a lot of things turned out really, really bad when it came to the month of April, specifically that of energy. So I want to take a look into what the expectations are when it comes to what people are thinking CPI will come in. And honestly, it will surprise you. So before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really does help with the algorithm on YouTube as well as Rumble. Make sure to follow us on X. And of course, if you guys would like to join us on the Discord, make sure to comment below and ask for the Discord channel. So that way I can send it to you guys because apparently it's expired. I don't really know how to make it not expire. So with that said, let's actually get started with this video. So let's actually take a look at what CPI came in at last month for March, of course, in April. This was done on 4/10, and as you guys can see, it came in at 3.5% in the last 12 months, not seasonally adjusted, and when it came to the core, it came in at 3.8%. This was higher than what it was last time, and this was due to the fact that if we take a look at this graph, energy was the big catalyst. For several months, energy was the one bringing down inflation because it was in the negatives, and just last month, right, we got energy peaking up to 2.1% in the positive. And if we take a look specifically at the energy itemized, we can see that the big one here that caused all of this situation was two categories, and that was electricity coming in at 5.0 and gasoline of all types coming in at 1.3%. So this is very, very interesting because if you guys remember, gasoline for the month of April started to go up a lot. And right now that's going to be a major catalyst when it comes to the CPI that we're going to get on Wednesday. And this is what it currently feels like how markets are walking into the CPI report. Gotta love that. I actually saw that one on X and I'm like, I have to show that one on a video. But it honestly does feel that way, guys. It absolutely does. Now, let's take a look at what in the world expectations are when it comes to CPI. Now, this threw me for a loop when I saw it. Because if we take a look at, guys, the economic calendar when it comes to CPI, this to me is insane right now. Take a look at this. We got CPI year over year forecast 3.4%. Previous month, as we saw, 3.5. They're expecting normal CPI to come down to 3.4%. The month over month one, they're expecting it to stay the same at 0.4. Now, what's really surprising is that they're expecting the core one to fall by 0.2 down to 3.6. Both of these numbers is ridiculous to me for one simple reason. And in fact, I just said it, energy. Guys, gasoline has gone up in the month of April. And May has remained kind of the same, but for April, we saw a massive rise when it came to gasoline prices. In fact, if we take a look at the AAA gas prices when it comes to the whole United States, guys, the average as of today, as if I'm recording this, it is 5.12, and there it is, price as of 5.12. $3.62. If we take a look at this when it comes to the national average gas prices, looking at the year ago average, guys, it was $3.54. The current average is $3.61 or $3.62. How in the world Or do you expect me to believe, or what kind of things are these people smoking right now to believe that with gas prices, just gasoline alone, going up by 7 cents, how in the world are they expecting inflation to come down? Oh my goodness. This is just complete insanity to me. I do not understand why people believe this. I guess it's just massive amount of hopium, but if it does happen, man, markets will absolutely rally. I highly doubt that it will happen, guys. In fact, we've said it here on the channel, we expect CPI to come in. Actually, let's take a look at this over here. I personally expect this thing to come in at around 3.9. Mike is expecting this to come in at 4. When it comes to the normal CPI, actually, this may, I don't know what Mike said, honestly, but I personally think that this will come in at 3.9. And then this one to be upwards of around like 3.7. There is no rhyme or reason for this thing to fall, yet people are believing that it's going to fall. And yet on top of this, you have investors believing that inflation is going to come down. And at the same time, you have articles like this. Shout out to, of course, QE Infinity, where he posted this article that I'm going to show you guys right here. From Business Insider, we got, quote, something could break. The Fed risk recession, bank failures if it doesn't cut rates soon, economist Mark Zandi says. So on one hand, you have investors believing that inflation is going to come down, right, for the month of April, which there is no rhyme or reason for that to happen. And on the other hand, you have this guy, Mark Zandi, from Moody's saying that if they don't cut interest rates, then something will break. So is everything good or is everything not good? This is completely topsy-turvy. They're just playing both sides of the narrative, and it's incredible to me to see how this has all ended up. Right? It really is incredible for me to see this. And then to top it all off, we are essentially 50-50 when it comes to the fear and greed index. So we're heading into inflation with the fear and greed index at 48 points. Man, you couldn't have played this any better. This is completely insane as to what's currently happening right now, guys. Absolutely crazy. So we'll see what happens on Wednesday. Me personally, though, I do not foresee inflation coming down at all. My prediction when it comes to inflation is for the core CPI, this will come in at 3.9, and the normal, this will go up maybe by like around like 0.2, 3.7, maybe 3.8, and that's about it. And that was going to make markets fall. There really is no rhyme or reason for this thing to come down with gas prices skyrocketing for the month of April. It really doesn't make a lick of sense. So we'll wait and see what happens, and we'll see how the markets react. So that pretty much does it for this video. Most of you guys will see how the markets reacted on Monday, seeing that I'm going to put this one out on Monday at 4 p.m. But we'll see what happens on Wednesday, guys. Up until then, there really isn't much of anything happening. Yes, you have earnings. Yes, you have some good earnings in the sense of like Home Depot and a bunch of other companies. In reality, the only thing that matters here is just CPI. It's just inflation. It always is that way. It's either inflation or FOMC meeting. That's it. Nothing else really matters. So it'll be really interesting. And if markets fall, tell me if you guys plan to take some advantage in buying some really great companies out there. And I will also put out a poll on both X and YouTube to see what you guys believe the inflation will be. Do you think it will go up? Do you think it will come down? Or do you think it will stay roughly the same? So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. It really does help her with the algorithm on YouTube as well as Rumble. Make sure to follow us on X. And if you guys would like the Discord link, make sure to message me in the link in the description below. So thank you so much for watching. Peace out, and we'll see you all next time.